This is the Oviedo High School Senior Credit Check Information Presentation. We would like to start with introducing you to our school counseling department. Mrs. Lightsey is the school counselor for students with last names between A and Davila. Mrs. Riley is the school counselor for students with last names between Davis and Hub. Mrs. Bird is the school counselor for last names that fall between Huck and Nasby. Dr. William counsels students with last names between Nash and Scott. Mrs. Vosberg works with all students with last names between Scrafton and Z. And Mrs. Monahan works with all students last names A through Z with education plans, except for those students that are either gifted or have a 504 plan. Mrs. Williford is the secretary for the school counseling department. Her office is located in the front, and she helps with all appointments and conferences. She also knows where most of the forms are available for any of the things you may need, such as community service applications or dividend applications. Now let's talk about college readiness testing. Remember that when you're applying to colleges and universities and they ask for your test scores, you will need to send them directly from College Board for the SAT exam or from ACT. They will not accept them from an Oviedo High School transcript in most cases. The Oviedo High School school code for all testing, also known as a CEEB code or an AI code, is 101315. In addition, please remember that you need to upload a photo, and it is required for all testing on the SAT or ACT. You will also need your admission ticket and an acceptable picture ID, such as a driver's license or a school ID. Testing fee waivers are available to students on free or reduced lunch. Students are limited to 2 waivers for the SAT and 2 waivers for the ACT. Students may also use fee waivers for applications to colleges and universities once they've used a testing fee waiver on the SAT or ACT. SAT School Day will happen on October 11th of this school year. Students are all pre-registered by the school and will fill out additional information in class. Keep in mind, if you're a student that qualifies for a testing fee waiver, you will receive a free test on October 11th, and this does not count towards your 2 fee waivers for each test. If you choose to take the SAT on an additional date outside of our scheduled SAT school day in October, then please go to their website to register. If you would like to test at Oviedo High School, use our test center code 10553. Keep in mind you may need to pay additional fees for late registration or other changes to your test date. Sunday administrations usually occur the day after each Saturday test date for students who cannot test on Saturday due to religious observance. Test dates are listed in the Senior Update handout. Students that wish to take the ACT may do so by registering on the ACT's website at www.act.org. If you would like to test at Oviedo High School, you will use the test center code 172750. Just like on the SAT, additional fees may apply with the ACT for late registration or making changes to the test type, center, or date after registering. The test dates for the ACT are also available in the Senior Update handout. Student athletes, if you plan on playing your sport in college, you may need to register for the NCAA Clearinghouse or check your NAIA eligibility. For more information, please see your counselor or visit the Oviedo High School Athletics Department. Graduation requirements are important for students to understand as you progress through your senior year and complete your diploma. Students must earn 26 credits for all of our diploma pathways, and they must maintain an unweighted 2.0 grade point average. Let's take a closer look at our diploma pathway requirements. The standard pathway diploma requires 4 credits of English with a passing 10th grade FSA ELA, which is a level 3 or higher, 4 math credits, which also includes the testing requirement of the Algebra 1 end of course exam at a level 3 or higher, and then any other math course with an EOC, the EOC will count as 30% of the grade. Students may also substitute up to 2 approved industry certifications that lead to college credit for math credits. In the area of science, 4 credits are required, including biology and the biology end of course exam, which counts as 30% of the final grade, and 3 other equally rigorous courses. 3 of the 4 credits must be in lab sciences. Students may substitute 1 approved industry certification that leads to college credit for science. Social studies requires 3 credits, which include world history, United States history, which has an end of course exam that counts as 30% of the final grade, as well as a half credit of American government and a half credit of economics with financial literacy. Other graduation requirements are 1 credit of fine arts, 1 credit of physical education, which must include a half credit of personal fitness, 1 online course. So a course does not necessarily equal a full credit, and other options may be available, such as blended American government, to fulfill this requirement. Elective credits are required as well, and the total elective credits should be 9. As long as a student meets all of the requirements listed and earns 26 credits, the 9 elective credits should fall into place. The next diploma pathway is our Scholar Pathway Diploma. In addition to the standard pathway diploma requirements, students must also take Algebra 2 and Statistics, or a course that's considered to be equally rigorous to statistics. They must take chemistry or physics and score level 3 or higher on the biology end of course exam. They must also pass the United States end of course exam with a level 3 or higher, take at least 2 years in the same world language, and take either 1 AP course or 1 dual enrollment course. The Merit Pathway Diploma is available for students completing the standard pathway diploma requirements and earning at least 1 industry certification that leads to college credit. The Scholars with Distinction Diploma pathway is available for Seminole County students. It requires that students complete the Scholar Pathway Diploma, as well as 3 credits in the same world language, 6 credits in advanced placement with grades of A or B, 1 credit in experimental science, and this experimental science may be substituted with either the Oviedo Senior Capstone or an additional AP, dual enrollment, or world language credit, as well as a weighted grade point average of a 3.75. With the advanced placement courses, you may substitute up to 2 of those courses with dual enrollment courses. The AP Capstone Diploma is our newest diploma pathway. You must complete both the AP Seminar and AP Research course, as well as 4 other AP courses, and pass the exams with level 3 or higher. Now let's talk about the road to college and career. As students decide what they're going to do after high school graduation, they need to choose whether they're going into the world of work, on to college, or maybe into military service. So what's the next step? Doing the research is required to answer that question. If you're going into the world of work, will you require further training or certifications? If a student's deciding they would like to go on for a post-secondary education in a college or university setting, have college visits been planned or a major been discussed? If you're thinking about military service, has a student talked with a recruiter or taken the ASVAB exam? Now let's talk about recommendation letters. Letters may be required for any of the paths that you choose, but it may look a little different for each path. As far as career is concerned, do you need a letter for employment or for references? For college, does your school require a counselor form or any other letters of recommendation? If you're considering military service, do you need a letter showing that you're going to graduate from high school on time? If you need a letter of recommendation in any of your pathways, please make sure that you allow for enough time for the letter to be written and delivered to whomever it is that's requesting the letter. You want to make sure that it's someone that can write a quality letter for you, so supply them with information such as your resume or a list of your other school activities that they need if it's applicable. Now let's talk about applications. For a career, if you don't already have a job, do you need to secure one for after graduation? Do you need to apply for technical school or any other certification programs? These are some of the questions that you need to be considering. With college applications, it's always best to start early. Most applications are due by November to make early deadlines and get your decision sooner than the other students that wait to apply. For the military, you need to make sure you've completed all your required paperwork with your recruiter. When you're requesting documents, such as a transcript, you need to see Ms. Mindy Mendez in the records department. Please allow at least 1 week for the electronic delivery of your transcript. Hard copies of transcripts may be picked up in 24 hours from the time of request. Please keep in mind that official test scores for SAT and ACT must be ordered directly from the testing company and allow them time to deliver your scores and meet your institution's deadlines. Scholarships are very important for seniors that are planning their finances for college. Roar TV and the College Room have the most up-to-date scholarship information. Try to visit at least once a week to stay on top of the latest announcements. Most of the scholarship applications come out in the second semester, but remember that the early bird gets the worm, and if you are looking for scholarship dollars, make sure that you fill out those applications and that you are diligent with the process. It is like having a part-time job. Also, please make sure you keep track of any scholarship monies that you earn so that they can be submitted on your senior exit survey. The FAFSA form must be completed by any student that wants to be eligible for aid. This even means scholarships. This form may be filled out as early as October, and you can use your parents' tax information from the previous year. The application is available on their website at www.fafsa.gov. Let's talk about Bright Futures scholarships. The Bright Futures application also opens on October 1st, so it's suggested that students complete the application along with the FAFSA form to make sure that you're qualifying for all aid that's available. You do not need to complete all of your Bright Future requirements before you complete the application. So even if you have not finished community service, or maybe you're planning on taking the SAT or ACT again, it's still important for you to complete the application right away. Community service hours need to be turned in by May 1st to allow for processing, and you'll find the links to the websites for Bright Futures Community Service as well as for the FAFSA form in your senior update handout. Now you can also use the floridashines.org website to track your progress towards Bright Futures. Please keep in mind that the website only updates in September, March, and June of each year, and instructions on accessing Florida Shines is linked to the Oviedo High School website. Now let's talk a little bit more about the scholarship levels. The Florida Academic Scholar, which is the highest level award, requires a 3.5 weighted GPA on 16 core academic classes, including world language, 100 hours of community service, and the SAT scores a 1290 or a 29 on the ACT. And with the SAT, they're only looking at the evidence-based reading and writing score combined with the math score. For the Florida Medallion Scholar, a 3.0 GPA is required on those same 16 core academic courses, and it requires 75 hours of community service. The test scores are an 1170 on the SAT and a 26 on the ACT. You can have either of these scores to qualify. With the Gold Seal Vocational Scholar Award, it is required that students have a 3.0 weighted GPA on core academic classes, and they also need a 3.5 GPA for 3 credits of their Gold Seal program area course. So that could be your interior design or early childhood education or automotive. You also will need 30 hours of community service. The test score requirements for the Gold Seal Vocational Scholarship is a 440 evidence-based reading and writing score and a 440 math on the SAT. On the ACT, it is a 17 English, 19 reading, and a 19 math. And for PERT test, it's a 106 reading, a 103 writing, and a 114 math. The Gold Seal CAPE Scholarship requires students earn 5 post-secondary credit hours through CAPE industry certifications and complete at least 30 hours of volunteer service work. Senior Exit Survey or Senior Survey is required for every student in Seminole County to complete prior to graduation. Instructions are usually available after spring break, and students will not be cleared for graduation if the survey is not completed. Graduation this year will be held at the University of Central Florida Arena, and the date has not yet been determined. Please make sure all obligations are taken care of prior to graduation rehearsal. Communication is so important in your senior year, so please make sure you follow our website, our Twitter account, and then make sure you also follow us on Facebook to keep up with the latest information about Oviedo High School. As a senior, please make sure that you reach out to your teachers and your counselor if you need assistance with anything. You can find a lot of information on our district website. You can also find it on our school website, your ePassport or eCampus accounts. Check Skyward for information. You may call us, email us, or set up conferences with Ms. Williford. This slide presentation will be available on our website along with your senior information handout, and you can refer to those anytime you need to for pertinent information about your senior year. Go Lions!